Hey guys, Jennifer McCune here, coming live to you from Central Virginia. Many of you know that the past couple weeks you've seen my posts. It's been a little bit traumatic in my life, and one of the things that I love about entrepreneurship is all of the amazing people that I've encountered on this journey, and I just love sharing these stories of people. And I'm going to be sharing with somebody right now, and for some reason, there we go, she's asking to be in the video. Here we go. My friend Leighton Griffin right now. Leighton lives in right outside of Washington, D.C., and is going to share a little bit more about her story of entrepreneurship. It's just one of the most amazing people. I'm so grateful you're in my life, Leighton. And please, you had so much going on when you started your business. Two small girls, a lot going on professionally. Personally, why did you decide to add a business to your plate? Tell us more about that.
Well, first of all, thanks so much for inviting me here. This is so fun. Thanks for putting up with my tech wreck, fumbling around here. So for me, and this is why I think I will never stop sharing about this business. It was totally need-based. So I was not looking for a business. I wasn't looking for skincare. I basically, had just started coming out of a pretty rough period of time for our family. I had left my career to start a family, and I was pregnant with my second when my husband's job came to a screeching halt, which was one of those blessings in disguise, as you figure out later. But it put us into a pretty stressful time. I mean, we had savings, thank goodness we did, but we went through all of it. And when I was approached about Rodan Fields and this opportunity to partner with these doctors, it was right when we had officially emptied all of that savings, and my husband had accepted another job, which was fantastic. But we were starting that long, slow climb just back to secure. So it was definitely born out of a need, and that I wasn't in the position to kind of look down my nose at anything or assume, I knew what the heck this was. So that's why I took a really close look. And when I did that, it was a no-brainer. The what ifs were just way too big. So that's why we jumped in.
Did you have any hesitations? I mean, obviously your background was, you were doing stuff on the Hill. You were in DC. You were working in the political world prior to becoming a mom. It just wasn't necessarily a natural transition for you, was it?
No, not at all. I can't think of anything that has translated at all. And I always joke, I mean, I've never even been a waitress. Like, I've never sold something that people just were forced to take from me. Like so the idea of starting a business where sales was, going to, be the main source of my income. It was a little scary, but honestly, to tell you the truth, my husband looked at me and he said, "You're going to be amazing at this." And it was his faith in me that kind of made this, honestly, I think given what we were going through, it felt kind of selfish not to at least try. And yes, there were nerves for sure, based on, my sort of, I guess, misconceptions of what I was jumping into, and kind of how I'd been a little judgy of the channel itself, or that kind of thing. And that I didn't really know what the heck I was doing. I mean, I was so glad that I was able to jump in and just kind of start talking and have people there to answer the tough questions for me while I was still trying to figure it out. So yes, definitely had a lot of nerves about the whole thing.
So are you talking about the support system? That was one thing that was really helpful to you when you started Rodan Fields?
Yes, for sure. I mean, we had our hands full, and this needed to be helpful, whether it was a grocery bill that I was going to be able to take off the plate or the mortgage. This needed to be helpful right away. And if I had to go to Rodan Fields school for 2 weeks or 2 months prior to opening my mouth and sharing it, that would have just been, that would have been a total bummer. So I had people that could, get on the phone with friends that were, wanted to hear more about what I was doing, or had interest in the products, maybe because Proactive, saved their life in high school. And I was able to do that, with that all before I could ever pronounce hydroquinone. That I had people there that could do that for me and explain, nothing's really tricky, but, how we get paid and things like that, that I just couldn't really articulate. I was too busy figuring out how, how to help this, get going and help my family.
Right, right. And that's one of the things I love about our business too. We have such incredible support from everybody
Mm-hmm.
from the minute we start, from the second we start. So I know that's been a wonderful thing
Mm-hmm.
for you with the business. Do you have any other best thing about this business, or maybe best things for you? What's been so incredible that you didn't even expect?
Yes, absolutely. And one, as you know, is staring me in the face every single day these days. And, it's something that a friend of mine said recently, who has been, building her business alongside her full-time job, and her children and all that stuff. She's a single mom. And she just went through double mastectomy, this whole thing. And what she said was, this business, she's worked her business when she can so that it could be there for her when she couldn't. And as you know, we're dealing with one of my little kiddos who's going through a heck of a time, lots of anxiety. And for the last week or so, I have had to kind of pull back a little bit on, the time that I typically would be spending on Rodan Fields, doing a lot of reading, talking to therapists, things like that, spending more time with her, keeping my mental state, in check. And I'm so thankful that my Rodan Fields business is continuing to work for me, while I can't, as much as I normally would during the week, when that's my kids are out of the house and I'm just burning through, and doing my job. So that has been just such a blessing. And, it's for the things that maybe are yet to come that, we never can imagine, but that, I can pull back. I don't have to ask anyone for a day off. I don't have to count sick days or anything like that, working this business steadily and consistently for years allows me to, when the really important stuff happens, I can pull back. And then another thing I just realized, so I'm wearing this necklace. This was given to me at my Lexus celebration. So as you know, because you've earned a Lexus, the company gives you $1,000 to just blow on a big old party. And it's so fun. And, everyone comes out and your team's there. It's such a big team accomplishment. And so what we did is we turned it into a fundraiser. My friends came and they brought this, and they run a nonprofit that puts on a retreat for for military spouses who have lost their significant others in service to our country, and for Holbrook Farms is what it's called. So I love that part about this business is that, I jumped in to save my family. We had a financial need, but as it turns out, we're doing so much good. We get to do lots of really cool things that, are near and dear to my heart. So that's just one of the many surprise blessings that have come about.
I agree with you. It's so wonderful seeing how many, and I think because this business gives us the time and the financial options that we wouldn't have had otherwise. Mm-hmm. Truly such a huge blessing. Absolutely. So thank you so much for sharing your story.
You're
I know
welcome.
So many people are, appreciate hearing what you have to say. You've been such an inspiration and role model for so many of us. And I just appreciate you not only as a business partner, but as an amazing, beautiful friend. So thank you for coming on and sharing.
Love you so much.
Bye. Love you.
Bye-bye.